Good evening, climate survivors. It's me, Aletya Deacon me, coming to you live from the inside of a jet stream-induced mental breakdown with your scheduled dose of weaponized weather theatre. Now, according to the official script, the forecast, we're expecting highs of 27 degrees. But let's be honest, the only thing high right now is whoever's running the HAARP array. The sun's blazing like it's been dared to commit arson, and the UV index is currently sitting somewhere between grill pan and Jesus Christ. I'm combusting. Now, Monday might look dry on paper, but so did COVID restrictions at first. Then boom, we're clapping on doorsteps like lobotomized seals. By Wednesday, expect the skies to break open with enough rainfall to make Noah sit up in his grave and say, hang on, we're doing this again. But fear not, the Met Office says it's all totally natural because global climate systems just coincidentally align to mimic the aftermath of a weather warfare simulation, definitely not connected to that little squirt of stratospheric aerosol that passed over on Friday like the sky sneezed aluminium. And don't even get me started on the clouds. They're not moving, they're hovering suspiciously like they're watching, judging, waiting for your tomatoes to ripen before blasting them with a downpour and a gust of wind strong enough to relocate your patio set to fucking Norway. In conclusion, this week's weather is brought to you by the letters D, E and W and the number of times your local forecast lied to your face while smiling with dead eyes. Stay alert, stay weird. And remember, if your sweat smells like metal and your plants are wilting under full cloud cover, it's probably just summer. So apparently, we're in for a mini heat wave. Like, that's right, mini, because calling it an actual heat wave might make people ask questions like, wait, why is the air spicy in May? Or why does the sun look like it's bleeding? But don't worry, it's all thanks to natural phenomena like the Caribbean plume. Yeah, just your average warm tropical fart drifting its way over the Atlantic to slow roast the UK like a Greggs steak bake on Satan's dashboard. Now, Sunday, Scotland and the North get a lovely serving of rain because it wouldn't be a British summer without slapping the Highlands with a soggy middle finger. The South and East, meanwhile, get to pretend it's holiday weather until the geo-engineered cloud blanket creeps in around Wednesday to remind you no one escapes the schedule. Midweek, the Met Office would like you to believe it's a low-pressure system from the Atlantic bringing showers, but I've seen less dodgy stories in a Jeffrey Epstein flight log. It's the same old spray and play, chemtrail conga lines overhead and your nan's begonias melting in the UV death glare. So yeah, enjoy the heat while it lasts, sip your Pims, sit in your garden and pretend that grey smear across the sky is high-altitude cirrus and not Bill Gates' private weather doodle. Now, Saturday's weather is set to be unsettled, and which coincidentally is also how most of us feel when we realise half of Westminster thinks the country's one big Airbnb. Expect showers across the north funded by your tax money, while the south basks in slightly clearer skies, until Starmer's climate dream kicks in and bans barbecues for being carbon fascism. By Thursday, winds will pick up, carrying with them the sweet scent of geo-engineered betrayal and freshly printed diversity pamphlets. Don't be alarmed if you see clouds shaped like giant syringes. That's just the RAF doing a bit of community outreach. And remember, any abnormal weather patterns you notice are purely coincidental, even if they happen on the same day as a UN climate summit, a banking crash, or the suspicious collapse of another grain silo in Europe. Now, according to the official narrative, it's going to be a scorcher this week. Temperatures rocketing like the national debt under Starmer's fantasy utopia. 27 degrees in some parts, and that's before the smart meters get hacked and convince you your kettle just triggered a level 4 climate incident. Meanwhile, the skies will be mostly cloudy, which is code for aerosol dumping at altitude. Don't worry though, it's not pollution, it's progress. You're not breathing barium and polymer fibres, you're inhaling net zero equity. That tickle in your throat, that's the taste of climate justice. Now midweek, expect incoming waves of low pressure. And by that I mean boatloads of mystery men with iPhones newer than yours, getting hotel rooms with better food than your kid's school canteen. But hey, diversity is our strength, right? Especially when it floods your local A&E faster than a June thunderstorm. Down south, there'll be sun sweat, and that awkward feeling when your council tax goes up, but your bin only gets collected during leap years. And if you're lucky, you might even spot a rainbow painted by a drone sponsored by Pfizer celebrating National Jab Your Dog Day. Oh, and a quick warning for Friday. An amber alert has been issued, not for weather, but for Keir Starmer making another U-turn. He was against the migrants, then for them, then maybe against them if it polls badly. The man's spine has more twists than a climate treaty written by Goldman Sachs. Finally, this weekend we're told to enjoy the sunshine responsibly, which roughly translates to stay indoors, wear SPF 1000, don't ask questions, and for God's sake, don't mention the trails. And to wrap up this evening, a quick look at the immigration forecast map. As you can see, it looks like a migrant pandemic is spreading across the world, meaning there is a high probability of some backward retard from some fucked up country exposing themselves to your children in the local park. I have been Aletya, put your deacon me, and that was your weather. Please remember, if you watched it and you like it, please share it for others to enjoy also. Check out Liam Stoneley anywhere he isn't currently banned from. Goodbye for now.